What's interesting to me is you talk about this idea that perhaps some people don't share because of this idea of scarcity. Do you think one of the things that I talk about a lot is that in the modern world and in the digital age, where let's face it, knowledge is all over the place, it's there, that actually it's shared knowledge that's power. It's not, you know, the old idea that knowledge is power. Actually, it's shared knowledge that's power, and it's something I'm very big on. Is that something you would agree with?
I only tweeted yesterday, because the quote is knowledge is power. That's not right. Knowledge and action with power knowledge and action is power. We're now adding a third word. Knowledge, action, and sharing is power.
Yeah.
So if you've got all this knowledge you don't share, it doesn't work. If you've got all this knowledge you don't use it, it's not power. So the combination of the three work. So you need to have some knowledge, you need to find some people who've got better skills than you have, and then you've got to do something with it. I love the line, when all is said and done, much more is said than done.
Yeah.
So most of us don't do much with it, but if you get a collective group of people who can support you, that really works.
So let's say you're willing to share it, right, and you're willing to open yourself up. If you're a business owner watching this now, what is the best way of perhaps going about trying to find some people that you think you could work with to mastermind to get better? How do you identify? You know, you're sitting in your office thinking, well, this is a good idea, but how do I go about trying to make it happen?
So my father's an optician. If he had a dentist, a podiatrist, a dietitian, a plumber and a builder, and every month they got together and they shared what's working for their marketing, could they combine any of their marketing together? So it's a bit like going to a Chamber of Commerce meeting. But instead of just listening to the one speaker, they become their own little chamber. And the more people that collectively learn together, that share ideas together, but also get honest feedback. Even though I hate the word feedback and I call it feed forward, I think it's much more important that together you learn and share together.
Yeah, absolutely. So is there an optimum number of people in some sort of, is this a formal thing? Do you think people should set up and have a formal idea of having a group that meet a certain amount of times, or?
Everything's great if it can be formalised, but we're busy. So you and I have been trying to get this interview going for months.
Yeah.
You're busy, I'm busy. If we agreed that every 6 weeks we'd meet in this hotel between 7 and 8:30 for breakfast, there's a good chance it will happen. The idea of 12 of us trying to get to this hotel at 11 o'clock is going to happen once because we're going to be excited. Then the following month I've got a very important speaking gig, much bigger than yours. And then the following month you've got a very important gig in Vienna. And what happens is after about 7 or 8 months we're down to 3 people and the energy's changed. But if 4 or 5 of us said we're going to meet here, and 14 years ago or 13 years ago, 3 other big speakers and I used to meet in London before the congestion charge at 7 o'clock at the London Hilton between 7 and 8:30 because that's when the parking started. So we had to finish by then. And I was really like the junior boy of the group.
Right.
And one was a keynote speaker, one was an after-dinner speaker, and one was a comedian. And I was the trainer who did like 1 hour to 3 hours. I learned so much from them within 6 months. It was unfortunate we all got so busy and they all got much more famous that the group disbanded. But that 6 months taught me having a mastermind group is vital.
And what about setting goals for the group? So you'll get together, is it just about having a chat? Is it about setting some goals and objectives? Are they the same goals? Are they different goals? How does that work, do you think?
So I wrote a book called 10 Heads Are Better Than One. And in the book I really put the guidelines for the structure of a meeting, how to organise it, because you need what's called a minute of bragging rights. Everyone needs to have a minute of saying, you know, I've just spoken to Sky, you've just told me, you've just spoken to Man United. We do all this stuff, and then after that, what are the 3 things that we want to achieve this month? What are 3 things they're getting in the way? And what are 3 things we need support in? And that's roughly the structure of most meetings that I work on.
Excellent. Thank you very much.